For the NZV8s from Hamilton, John McIntyre off the pole alongside Angus Fogg. A row 2 start for Timmy Edgell alongside Christchurch's Andy Knight.
We filtered back through then, of course, to Kane Scott, suffering with a bit of an engine problem. Paul Manuel, very good job in qualifying. Eddie Bow, good to see him back. Another guy that is suffering for car speed is Craig Baird, a championship contender.
Well, he had an issue in qualifying, of course. Andy Booth qualifying on the 5th row alongside Wade Henshaw. Gene Rollinson on debut in the BNTV8s. He will line up alongside John Penny in the Penny Holmes Falcon.
Then go back to Simon Richards and Hayden McKenzie. Martin Short, one of the guys going for Rookie of the Year honours. Then right back to Nick Ross.
And it's a row 9 start for Matt Lockwood. He will start alongside Dean Perkins in the LG4. Then it's David Hopper and Christina All-West to complete the lineup ahead of John Hepburn, Andrew Anderson and Scott McLaughlin. 20 plus of the fire-breathing BNTV8's about to erupt on the streets of Hamilton on a drying track. Talk about drama. We've got drama before even the races started here. John McIntyre leading them down to the lights out. Angus Fogg onto his outside, Timmy Edgell and Andy Knight from the 2nd row. You can see Craig Baird there just sticking his nose out before the race start. This is one of the slowest lead-ups we've seen to a race start so far in the championship.
Yeah, that might pay, it might not work off, because if they get wheel spin, they're going to go nowhere. Lights are out, boys are on.
Paul Manuel.
Oh, sideways,
Contact.
Paul Manuel. Timmy Edgell sideways, front of Craig Baird.
Baird avoided it. Edgell into the concrete off the race start.
Right, Johnny McIntyre filtered back to 3rd place already. Contact there, Andy Booth inside of Paul Manuel into Craig Baird. And this is only turn 1. They're not even at it yet.
Timmy Edgell looking to get himself turned around, and Angus Fogg has come out in the race lead on the run down to turn 2. McIntyre to the inside of Andy Knight.
Right, there he goes, got the inside running now. Look for the freight train movement here. Bit of smoke going on. These guys trying to get through turn 2. It's so tentative, it's so slippery for these guys.
Paul Manuel was right up against the concrete in the Oryx Commodore, and he continues to get filtered back as Craig Baird to the inside. I think that's Gene Rollinson who's made a fantastic start.
Yeah, not surprising. Gene knows how to battle. He knows how to mix it in there with these big guns, so it's exactly what we've seen.
Gene Rollinson in the car formerly raced by Jason Barguana, who's on supercar duty, of course, this weekend in Hamilton. He was helped into the championship by the likes of Schneider Electrical. So good to see the youngster in the BNTV8s as Eddie Bell's trying to get a run on him as Tulloch Motorsport teammate. They get through the chicane for the first time. Dean Perkins right there at the tail of the group. He started out of pit lane. But what a dramatic start. It erupted right off that race start. Was that maybe a legacy of such a slow start on the run down to the flag?
Was everybody just trying to anticipate when the lights are going to go out, because at that speed, if you can get another 5 or 10k advantage once it turned green, you're going to jump 3 or 4 cars. That's what we saw. Unlike the other car classes, this is a rolling start, so of course you hit turn 1 50 or 60k faster. Here we go.
Here's the peak antifreeze replay of the start. Now it's the 2nd row you need to watch. Foggy got an absolute flyer, and it was a bit of a concertina effect. It looked like Bell and Manuel made contact. Manuel turned into the back of Timmy Edgell and turned him around. Front splitter just got destroyed by a couple of cars running over it and behind, but that was just sort of one of those classic concertina effects with 2 or 3 cars trying to get into that one spot, just not really working out.
Yeah, it's never going to work out well.
There's an investigation call from race control for Tim Edgell, who was, well, he was the one that really lost out in that deal, so...
Yeah, not at all surprising. They'll probably review and say, right, what caused the change of actions for Timmy to go sideways down the front straight?
Now, from the championship point of view, you've got 1st and 3rd in the points, the first 2 cars on the track. Craig Baird's got a pretty solid start. He is in the 7th position in the United Ford. So there's Fogg with a little bit of an advantage now over John McIntyre. Andy Knight in 3rd, Kane Scott in 4th. And we talked about Kane Scott being a possible spoiler. He's right out of the championship contention, but knowing Kane, he'll still want race wins. Paul Manuel back there with Wade Henshaw as they file through the chicane complex. Scott McLaughlin from the tail of the field after some engine woes and qualifying in the Super Jeep Holden. He was a last start winner at the final race at Taupo.
Yeah, we saw that, didn't he? The reverse grid race there. He just come on strong, he backed himself, and he actually won that race on merit, because a lot of guys, they start from the front of those reverse grid races and work dividends, but he actually started from the middle of the field, won it, but here we are at the ITM 400. After that engine change, he's making a lot of places up very quick, and of course he is in Rookie of the Year honours. Martin Short, he's currently 5 or 6 places up the road, so...
Yeah, 98-point advantage. At the beginning of the weekend it was 82, but Martin Short was assessed with a penalty off the back of Taupo, and it did cost the youngsters some points, so that's been the Rookie Championship battle right throughout the season with Martin Short and Scott McLaughlin as Craig Baird goes to work on Andy Booth, who's looking to maintain that 4th overall in the championship. Gene Rollinson with a great start. It's Paul Manuel, so he's just got filtered back in those early laps as Matt Lockwood goes up the inside of Martin Short, who we're on board with now.
Quite possibly that Paul Manuel car got a bit of incident at that first corner accident that we saw as a result of that, so he's struggling. But Angus Fogg, fastest lap of the race at 39.4, Johnny McIntyre at 40.0, and then Andy Knight third place at 39.6. So these guys all got speed. We've seen a whole lot of yellow boxes come up all over the timing monitor in front of us, so the track is drying. These guys are starting to understand where the braking markers are, where the throttle application positions are. But give it a 2 or 3 laps. Once these wet with the tyres, if that's what they're on, and indeed I think they are, start to go off, we're going to see these cars move, shake, rattle and roll.
Eddie Bell's got a gap between himself and teammate Gene Rollinson. And let's talk about the chicane here for a moment, because you've got your 3 tyre bundles through the chicane. They don't have the timing loop like the V8 supercars introduced in Adelaide and are subsequently using here in Hamilton. So we're back to status quo with the NZV8s.
Oh, there you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. Angus getting completely sideways there.
John McIntyre definitely closing again. Matt Foggy with a little mistake over the back of the circuit.
Look, Johnny McIntyre was half a second slower than Angus, but Johnny's smart enough to realise that if I just nurse this car for 2 or 3 laps, don't let the tyres go off too quick, Angus is going to try to run and hide. He's going to burn the car up early part of the race. Can't help but think that last third it's going to come into Johnny McIntyre's favour. Yeah,
McIntyre's just set the fastest lap of the race, and he was quickest to the second sector split on that last lap. So that gap's gone down from about 1.2 seconds to 0.9 of a second. So Foggy can't afford to relax. Here's the peak antifreeze replay. Andy Knight just a little bit sideways in the background. He's knocked the left side mirror off that race car. But a good strong run for Andy Knight in that 3rd position. They've been pretty happy with their car over the weekend. As battles further back, Wade Henshaw.
Now these 3 guys, they are all hard chargers, and neither of these guys are going to concede a place. Matt Lockwood, this is not going to work out too favourably. All comes down to 1 place in the end.
12th, 13th and 14th. Henshaw maintains position.
Short's actually fallen a fair way back there, so he's suffering. Dean Perkins not really circulating as well, so if he made a gamble on slick tyres because he started from pit lane, it hasn't paid dividends for him yet.
So on board with Martin Short, chasing down Simon Richards. So Eurodrive Falcon. And other than that, basically opening straight skirmish, it's been relatively straight as Andy Knight's making a big run here on John McIntyre.
Now I was just about to say, Johnny McIntyre had full steam ahead going and catching Angus Fogg, so
Fogg's got away and he's again quickest to the second sector split, so Foggy has made some gains in this last lap.
Yeah, saying that, maybe Johnny just maybe a little bit wide or outbrake himself one of the corners, allowed Andy Knight start paying his attention to Johnny McIntyre. Johnny has a fair bit of car speed. Johnny McIntyre, just looking at the screen, Jamie, he's doing it a lot easier. He's driving natural lines. The other 2 guys starting to throw the car around a bit. And Craig Baird has made his way up to 5th spot, coming under attention to the cane Scott. Johnny McIntyre suffering. He is hurting. Andy Knight's got a run on him. He's going to get the position going into turn 2. Wow.
Approaching the halfway mark. Knight should have the run here under brakes into turn number 2. Kane Scott coming under pressure from Craig Baird, who's got by Andy Booth in the last lap or so. Knight does it pretty easily under brakes. I think McIntyre maybe just conceded that, but I think McIntyre maybe just losing some car speed.
Yeah, look, I actually thought he might have made an error half a lap before because he dropped right back from Angus Fogg, but maybe he's starting to suffer inside that car.
Let's look at the championship points. Angus Fogg went into the round 32 points up. He's now got a 15-point gain here in the first race with McIntyre back 3rd on track. In fact, it'll be more than that because McIntyre was 3rd in the points.
Craig Baird got a run on Kane Scott coming into turn 4. He's 5, sorry, he's going to make the stick.
So it's a 21-point gain, 53 points as, Baird now just narrows that championship chase again. So Angus Fogg looks to have things under control. He's in the fastest lap, the previous lap at a 1:37.593. Andy Knight quickest to the second sector. And Craig Baird's also he's starting to get away from Kane Scott as we have another look on the peak antifreeze replay. Martin Short shortening up Nick Ross.
Look, he had nowhere to go because one of the David Hopper was actually right at the back of him, and here we go. It's going to be a better shot. Morse code, 1, Liberace, side tap. Away you go.
So Martin Short and Nick Ross having a territorial dispute. This is another look at it from different view. Andy Knight was lucky with that one, so was Scott McLaughlin. And there was a whole group of Holdens in that battle group.